men, when they have a good woman at home, like, why do they still feel the need to mess with multiple women?
Most men cheat just based on the availability of the situation, if we're going to be real. A lot of times it's not even necessarily what she's doing, is that these options are available to me and I'm interested in something different. Me and you might have been together 9, 10 years or whatever the case may be, and you done showed me every possible move you can. And then I run across this woman who's willing to just throw it at me any different type of way, and just curiosity alone is gonna push most men to go out there and say, let me just at least see what it is.
I want to stay on what Trill said for a second though, because we hear about these divorce rates, right? 80% of women are choosing to divorce and different things like that. But maybe a part of it is there's no real incentive other than your morals, right? There's no real incentive to being a good woman. We sat here and we listened to somebody say, oh, if you stay at home, you cook.
What?
Hold on. You stay at home, you cook, you clean, you do this. You do what you think a good woman is supposed to do. And you said after 9 or 10 years, it just may be curiosity. And it's like, could you imagine, looking on the other side of things, can you imagine being at home, doing what you got to do, raising your family, raising your kids, and your man degrade your relationship, throw away everything that you built over? I mean, it might feel different.
Yeah. Well, guys, gals, people cheat for a lot of different reasons, man. They just do. A lot of times a lot of times it's who you choose to be with. It's your choice in people.
I think in this incident, when a woman is saying she's doing everything and a man does that, it goes back to what me and you always talk about, the undisciplined man. Because here in this situation, she put the men on there and she said, and the man said, after 10, 15 years, here comes a woman comes along and she want to show him something different. Man, listen, through the rest of your life, there's going to be some woman that comes along to a man that's kept, vice versa, or a woman that's kept. Anybody that sees something that looks good, that things are going right in their life, they driving a nice car, you can see this man clothes are ironed, this man clearly looks happy, this man life look like it's together, he might have on his wedding ring. Of course, all things are attracted to what glitters and what shiny and glows, everything. But it is your job as the person who's committed in that relationship to resist the temptation and say, hey, no. I mean, nobody wants something that nobody doesn't want. And just because you marry somebody, don't think that nobody else will still want them. Shit, half the time they want him even more. The man becomes more attractive when he got a ring on his finger to a lot of these women. And vice versa. A lot of these women become more attractive when she got a ring on her finger. But what are you doing as the person who stood there and took those vows and committed yourself to that other person? That's solely on you. You can't do anything about another person approaching you except handle that shit accordingly. That's it. And it has nothing else changes that. Only the person who's being confronted with the temptation can change that. They can either act upon it or they can choose to do the right thing and say no. Simple.
I guess the question would be, I mean, these questions are seem like questions that go around on a carousel. It's just the same old thing over and over. But how do you choose someone that's not gonna cheat? That should be the question.
But you can't. You have no guarantees because, it goes back to what I just said, temptation. Even Jesus Christ himself was tempted. So you have to evolve to a certain level as a human being to not be tempted. Things are going to tempt you the rest of your life. But if you have committed yourself to someone, you as a human being have to say, I'm going to stand 10 toes down and uphold my commitment to that other person because of who I am. Not because she just deserves it, but because I'm a man. I'm a man with good morals, good values, good standards. I know right from wrong. I know what to do. I chose to marry this woman. I chose to have kids with this woman. I chose a family. So I'm going to stand here and choose not to violate the choice that I made as a man. That's simple. That's all about you as a human being. And if you are undisciplined as a human being, you're going to always make wrong choices. You're going to always be tempted by cheating. You're going to be tempted by drugs. You're going to be tempted by sex, alcohol, money, all that.
But my question still stands. How do you choose a person that don't cheat?
There is no surefire way to choose a person that doesn't cheat. You want to
Well,
choose a
let,
person.
let, let's do
Let me
this.
finish.
What about how do you choose somebody that's less likely to cheat?
There's no surefire way to choose any of those things. What you can do is
Slow,
choose a
slow,
person
slow
who
down, slow
has.
down, slow down, slow down.
You won't let
So,
me answer the
if
questions.
well, 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 I want to give you something else to go with that because I know you saying that there's no surefire way. So I rephrase the question. Was I mean because would you date a man or would you choose a man that was married and he had a side piece and now he no longer have either one of those and he want to be with you? Would you choose that kind of guy? Would you choose a married man?
No,
Why wouldn't you choose a married man or a guy that you knew was married and was cheating on his wife, but he's no longer cheating on his wife? They're divorced. Would you choose a guy like that?
no, that guy would not be a choice for me.
So obviously we can see the things that will make that a huge red flag, and we avoid those things. So that's obvious. So when you choosing a mate, how do you choose that mate that wouldn't cheat, but they don't have the obvious red flags that you could necessarily point out by things that's right in front of you? Because that's what it boils down to. It
And what
boils down. Go ahead.
and what that boils down to is there is no surefire way to choose a mate.
Well,
That person could have be in a church, the person could have all the standards, could have all the morals, could have all the values, but at the end of the day, we're talking about being tempted. Temptation
I,
is going to come. And so you could have chosen the best possible person. You could have dated them for 3 to 5 years. Y'all could have did everything together. Y'all always kept it honest and real with each other. But when you are faced with temptation, what are you going to do? And it's easy to say, oh, I wouldn't be attracted to Jane, Sue, Betty, Wanda, Lisa. But Lord, here come Candy.
yeah,
Everything that you
I mean, I think
visually,
you want to go to that side of the glass, but I'm trying to get you to look at it from the other side. I
you
mean,
go ahead.
of course, you looking at it as far as the person and their personal responsibility. But what if it's you choosing the person? What if you got to make a decision on how you're going to choose a person? And of course, we can't go to a person that's just absolutely not going to cheat or whatever because you don't never know that. But you have to make a calculated guess. You have to choose a person that you feel that's less likely to cheat on you. And how do you go about that? That should be the question.
Well, you just choose
Because
somebody
go
that
ahead.
you think have the same morals and standards and values and upbringing that you have. That's all you can do. You can just make your best selection on that, getting to know the person, knowing their background, looking if they believe in family, their faith. You can lean to all those things, and then how you and that person feel about each other. If the love is there, if the emotions is there, if he's willing to protect you, you can look for all those qualities in a person and choose the person that has the best moral qualities and values and standards. That's all
Because
you can do.
because just like men and just like women, these dudes get on here whining and shit about women ain't shit and this and that. They all they it's not your She's not yours. It's just your turn. And the women come on here whining about, oh, you do this, you do that, and they still go out and cheat. Listen, man, you knew he wasn't worth a damn when you met him. And a lot of times you look back, and when you see certain people and they end up divorced or they end up going through something, how many people have you told or you seen from the beginning when they met each other, when they first started dating, that you knew they wasn't worth a damn in the beginning? And now shit that happened and it's total chaos. You want to come on here and tell us about, oh man, I did all this stuff. I broke my back. I did everything I could, and he still went out there and cheated.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happens when you're dating, and this woman is pretty? She's pleasing to your eyes. She cooks. She cleans. She might be a good church girl. Come from a family, a two-parent family. Finished college. You know all the good right things, and you chose to marry her, and then she cheats on you. What do you do then? Because then you did everything according. You did your homework, but she still cheated.
Yeah, you just take your lick.
So that's
Because
what I'm
because
saying.
this is the thing. This is the thing. I mean, you can't stop a human being from doing nothing unless you put some chains on them and or whatever. But you can give yourself a good chance to succeed by choosing a person based around moral value standards. If you start off there first, then you can give yourself a good chance. But a lot of time, people don't start there first. They start with everything else, finances. And that's the biggest one, finances. And then looks. They do that all the time. And then when they pour themselves into this, just like men, they start off with the woman beauty, and you pour your heart into this woman, and you knew from the get-go that she wasn't worth a damn in the beginning. And maybe she was. She just wasn't for you. She didn't treat you well. She didn't really respect you at all. It was always a tug of war. She always had promiscuous tendency, but you put aside all that stuff and you go into it, and then it falls apart, and you want to blame the woman, and you want us to be all up in an uproar, trying to give you console you. And listen, man, you shouldn't even been dealing with her in the first place.
But not everybody that happens that way all the time. And sometimes what a person is showing to the person who's trying to be in a relationship with them, it's not. You're on the outside looking in, so you may can see those things. But she may be showing that person something different, or he could be showing that woman something different. So not all the time do you have all the facts and you see the person for who they truly
Of
are.
course, you're not gonna,
And a lot
because
people
go ahead.
camouflage a lot of who they are, and they give you their representative when they're trying to get with you.
You camouflage yourself whenever you start injecting your feelings in there, and your judgment become cloudy. That's what ends up happening. And then when other people on the outside say, listen, don't you think you ought to slow down a little bit? You don't want to hear it.
It happens, but it sometimes
Because
you can make
I
great
just don't buy
judgment.
this thing where every time the shit go left, I've been tricked. I've been tricked. I was deceived. No, nigga. Yeah. No, you allowed yourself to be deceived.
But everybody does not put their best everybody doesn't show you who they are in the courting stage and the dating stage. And sometimes you can have the perfect prospect. She can be everything that you thought she would be, and that woman be the very woman that cheated on you. You could marry her as a virgin. She could be all the good things, the good church girl, everything you want, and that woman goes out and cheat on you. Why? Did you do something wrong? You could have been a perfect man coming home, taking care of the house, making sure she was good. and she just did cheat on you. Just like the man could just cheat on a woman. So it happens. Cheating is something that we'll never understand, and there's no foolproof way to determine whether someone is going to cheat
Shit,
on you or
man.
not cheat on you. But
Well,
you can, like you say, you can do your due diligence and try to get to know the person as much as you can. And if there's some flags that's there, don't ignore them. Just don't ignore them. You can have,
well,
you
with
don't
hey,
just
I tell
have to
you
have
what,
that woman.
with these modern women, listen, guys, take this advice. Keep one foot in the door and one foot out the door. So whenever she do something stupid, then you already ready, cool. Keep the U-Haul ready, bro. Keep the U-Haul ready.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
Just like the sassy men. That's fine. The lazy sassy men. Unfortunately, that's just where we living at
Hey,
today.
that's the modern day. That's the modern day.
Oh.
Hey, we got 1,000 videos showing you all kind of crazy things.
Hmm.
So it ain't like it used to be.
Nope.
It ain't like it used to be. So you gotta adapt to the damn time and changes.
No, you don't have to adapt to the times and changes. You stand on what your principles and morals and values are, and you wait to find you somebody that has those same qualities. Don't adapt to shit. That's the problem. We keep adapting to the bullshit. Don't
Mm,
adapt to nothing just to have somebody.
okay,
Don't do that.
okay. Better watch your ass.